Coach, congratulations. Incredible season this year. Just thoughts on the game tonight and the season of this team.
Yeah, first want to recognize Black Hills and congratulate them on an incredible season, incredible run, incredible game. You know, they deserve to win today. Well coached, great team, got great length, and box score says that they had 6 blocks, and it felt like 20. It felt like every time we were at the rim, they were there and were, above the ball and making it tough. And we really had a hard time getting our offensive flow going and finding good shots. And you just got to give them a lot of credit for their not just game plan, but ability to execute it and doing it at a high level. And there's a lot of tears in the locker room right now because this group really enjoys playing together, and we didn't want it to end. We didn't think it was going to end. We, believed, we could find a way. We've done it over and over, but tonight wasn't our night, and you just got to tip your hat to them. And just really thankful to be able to coach guys like our seniors, and how special it's been, a special season to be able to accomplish the things. I told them, as much as it hurts now, there'll be a day that you'll be able to, look back and be thankful for all the good memories and things that we had this year. Cutting down the nets for regular season, Lone Star Conference champions and tournament champions. Those are big things. But right now we're licking our wounds and we're hurting, but we're also really thankful. We're thankful for the guys I get to coach, the guys I get to be in the locker room. A lot of times we'll hear coaches or athletes give glory to God after a big celebration or a big win, and I just want to give glory to God after a painful loss, because He's still really good to us, and we're really thankful for a lot of things. And but it's just one of those things. It's part of sports. Sometimes your journey doesn't end with your biggest dreams, and that's a lot like life. So something that we can learn from, as men, as we keep moving forward, and it's just painful to see the ride come to an end.
The game tonight seemed to turn a little bit. You had a 7-point lead, and then Bishop gets into some foul trouble. I mean, how much do you feel like that kind of changed the trajectory of the game, and what do you feel like just how did the game begin to turn?
Yeah, 7-point lead midway through the second half. Felt like we had a little momentum, but then we had a couple of mistakes. They slipped out of a screen. We had a lapse on a coverage and handoff, and they hit a big shot, and then they kind of took that momentum back. We weren't able to capitalize on it and keep it going, but that's what good teams do. We feel like, if we were in their shoes, we'd be punching back and not quitting and not giving up, and, they're a good team too. And so they were able to respond in that moment and kind of take the momentum back with some big plays, and we had a couple of lapses, and, Bishop had a stretch there that he was starting to find ways to get around and score, and then the foul trouble hurt, and so that's part of the game, and it happens, and so we just got to learn and be better.
Excellent. Drew, how can you speak just with the physicality of the game tonight really stood out? It was both ends of the floor. Two teams laid out all out there to get to the Elite Eight. What can you speak just to the brand of basketball was played by how this school was?
Yeah, credit to them. They made it hard on us. Wasn't a lot of clean looks on offense. I know for me, they were just being really physical through screens and stuff, and, credit to them. They had a good game plan.
Yeah, I'd say credit to them. It's March basketball, so obviously competition is going to be tougher. It's going to be a lot more physical. Calls aren't going to be as much. So just knowing that you got to play through a lot of that and try to fight and claw to get a bucket or be able to just get a rhythm, it was hard, but they made it difficult on us. We missed a couple of shots that we normally make, but due to physicality, that changes, trajectory of shots and changes, the way that you finish. So hats off to them.
Coach, you guys have done a great job on your points off turnovers and you're turning that great press or whatever. They seem to get back pretty quick. I guess you got one of the quicker teams you played this year.
Yeah, they're quick and they've got good length, and they did a good job of getting back. And if you're not scoring, it's hard to get the press set, and hard to get some of those opportunities. We were close to getting, some 5-second count. We got some deflections. They were having trouble inbounding the ball, but we didn't turn those into points enough. They did have 19 turnovers. We won the turnover battle, but not enough, and not creating enough offense from the turnovers. And it was one of the few games, maybe the first all year, that looks like we didn't win the bench points, and that's been a real strength of ours this year. So, I told the guys, well, the season's over. There's no need to be critical of mistakes right now. We'll, as a coach, we'll watch film and we'll learn, but we'll right now we just want to celebrate the memories of a great season. But yeah, there's things that I'll see on film that I'll definitely wish that I'd done differently, and things that we can continue to learn from.
Speaking of memories, I want to ask, well, for Drew and X, your journeys here are pretty unique. Transferring in to come into this program, this family. You guys have been, I've watched it for 2 years, 3 years, and it's been incredible to watch not only your talent before, but just how you're embraced by your teammates, the fans here, your students, the student base here. So can you just speak to the journey and how special this time has been?
Yeah, first off, I'm just so appreciative to Coach Flick and Coach Glenny for letting me come in and be a part of this program. Looking back over my 3 years, we've won a lot of games. The program I was at before, over my 2 years, we won 21 games combined. So them allowing me to come in and be a part of such a special program, I'm so appreciative. It's definitely the closest locker room I've ever been in. Throughout all 3 of my years, all the dudes I've played with are some of my closest friends, some of my best friends for life. And just some of the things I'll cherish the most is just hanging out in the locker room after practice, going in the caf with the team, and we're there from 5 until it closes and they're kicking us out. Movie nights, just those would be the memories I cherish most and miss the most. So I'm just really appreciative of Coach Flickner and Coach Glenny for letting me come in and be a part of such a special group.
Yeah, I'd say I'm just grateful, and gratitude are the 2 words that come to mind. The journey I've had, going across the states to North Carolina to coming halfway back to Texas. I have no regrets about coming here. I definitely love it here. I'm thankful that they trusted me to be able to be a player that they valued and a player that they just, ingrained trust into, to be able to do what I do and, be an athlete. At App, it was a little different, you know what I'm saying? Honestly, that's a different place in general, but here it's more connected to me. It's more family. It's more everybody, goes into you, gives confidence into you, and lifts life into you. And it's all glory to God, first and foremost. But these guys, Drew, Flick, everybody else on the coaching staff and teammates included, just made me feel like I was at home and made me feel like I was a part of something special. And we, for 2 years that I was here, did, special things. So I'm forever grateful for Flick and the coaching staff for trusting in me and giving me an opportunity, and just having teammates that did the same thing.
And both these guys have had some incredible moments. Think about Drew the other night, big shots that he hits and the reaction. How many dunks can we talk about with Xavion and the highlight reels and things that he's done in history? But I know, for you, beyond that, these 2 guys are special.
Yeah.
Your heart, what you said.
It's special. The 2 years that they got to play were the 2 best years in program history, but it's the off-court, spiritual growth, watching them grow as men, the relationships, the bonds that we had. I told these guys, we've got a special group of seniors, some that have been here for 4 and 5 years, Justin and Deuce, and, they've poured their heart out. And then we've got some transfers like TJ and X and Drew, and they've come in and bonded to the program, and, we want to be playing in that final game one day, and be there, and that's our what drives us, to try and be there. And I told these guys, just because it's their last time to wear the uniform, there's always going to be part of the program, and if we're playing in that last game one day, I want them to be there, because it's going to be their national championship too. And that's what makes this place so special. It's not just transactional to go try and win basketball games. It's so much more than that. It's the relationships, it's the Bible studies together, and the time bonding together, and all the things that they describe are what make it so special. And that's why we'll be talking 20, 30 years from now, and I can't wait to see what God does in their lives and where he takes them, and all the things that they're going to get to do beyond the court.
So, Coach, can you just explain with the 2 deep runs that y'all have made the past 2 years? Do do, but you give it a lot of credit to the overall depth of the Lone Star Conference and also that there is never there's never really just a easy game that you can just mark on.
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
calendar.
I think our conference prepares us really well. You know, we've seen it all. There's really good coaches in the league. There's really good players in the league, and it's a grind, and it can be tough, but it makes you better. You know, playing in a great league. You know, we think in terms of the depth, you know, that it's the best league in the country in terms of the depth of good teams. You know, it's not a knock at, you know, the RMAC in our region or anybody else, you know, all over the country. There's other good leagues, but the depth of good teams, I think, is really good. And so night in and night out, you're seeing a different system, a different style, teams playing different ways, different game plans, and really well coached and going up against really good players, and so it makes you better. So absolutely, you know, really, you know, helps prepare you for big moments. And you know. All right, thank you.
Appreciate you.